So here is your first look at the BMW Motorsport X Puma livery and content that we have for Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. There are also other collaboration for Season 7. So we have a Michelin collaboration for live events. We've done some in the past already, and players really liked it because it's different style of race and everything. And we have mid-season something also big coming, right?
Yeah.
But maybe we let Guillaume talk about it, right?
Well, let Guillaume take care of that one for sure. But some really exciting stuff coming, Seb, and especially now with Season 7, the new live event features. Like, for example, the Michelin one will now have a taxi mission branded with Michelin. So you'll pick up a driver in a full Michelin race suit, and it definitely adds to the immersion because now you're in your car and you look to your right. It's a Michelin man, not the Bibidum.
Yeah, Bibidum would not fit in the car, I think, but no, but it's good improvements that we work on for test drive, for the, let's say, the quality of life features and quality of gameplay itself. So having that kind of new live events, diversity for live events and everything is really good for the players.
It is indeed, and just now I'm going to showcase you guys everything coming in Season 7 of Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. Let's go. So, welcome to Season 7 of Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, and that right there is indeed the RX-7. Now, this car is going to be available in the dealership, but before I show you that buying process, let's take a look at all the vehicles arriving day 1 in Season 7. Now, there's 6 of them. The 7th arrives mid-season, and we'll tease that a bit with Guillaume later. The R34, which we went over a little bit earlier, incredible detail, including the lens tags. Huge shout out to the vehicle artist at KT working on that. Then you have the Evo 4 arriving, one of the first times that this vehicle arrives in an open world racing game. There you have it. You guessed it, the FD3S arrives in Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown in the dealership. Really cool, and yes, we have some really cool customization options for it. This is the level 1 vehicle, the Nismo Phase 1 370Z. Then in the online store, you have these 2 vehicles. The first one is the GT3 Evo. Then you have the Beetle Holiday Edition available as well with this really cool, kind of drawn-on livery. But the Puma version's there. Mazda dealership, level 50 reward. So this is available to everyone in Solar Pass. Then you have the R34, which is the level 15 reward in the Solar Pass. That's level 50. Next, to show you everything available in the Solar Pass, here's what it looks like. Moving on though, let's exit and let's go for a drive and also show you the new live event tab that's available to you. So here we are in Evo, turn it on. And as we mentioned, as you upgrade your vehicles, by the way, this is a work in progress build, so not everything's finished. The season does release on September 2nd, but you gotta love it, man. That's those are the good sounds. Go back to interior. Now, before I head over to the workshop, I want to mention to you the live tab. When you open the map, you head over to here. You guys can see live tab. You have weekly challenges and seasonal challenges. There's no live events loaded into this dev build right now, but essentially there would also be a topic where it says live event tab. One of the really key things though, for example, is the daily challenges, which I'm going to showcase you guys right now. All you have to do is if you go to your exploration, for example, you want to re-roll. Say you don't want to overtake 20 cars. Well, simple. Well, actually, I don't have any more re-rolls for that. I'd say I don't want to equip a casual clothing. What else can I do? Complete 4 navigation races. Complete the detective contract with the streetwear clothing. I'll do that. Driving, say for example, you don't want to do 4 circuit races. What else can I do? Secure podium finish 5 times. Complete 4 time attack races. Why not? And there you go. But each day you have a chance to re-roll these to, well, maybe if you don't want to do them, you have other options. Seasonal challenges. Each week, there'll be more rewards to do. So, for example, you have here, I can claim a reward. So, just like that, $75,000 for completing one of these challenges, which is triggering a speed trap. 75,000 and 6,000 solar pass XP. But you really have an opportunity to go through your solar pass and even get the exclusive reward each week once you level up to 8. Yeah, you have the opportunity as well. Same thing for live events. Live events will also give you the opportunity to earn a lot of solar XP. Moving on, as usual, you have your tasks, live, and then the map. Back out. Let's head over to the workshop and I'll show you the customization for all of the vehicles before we head over to the dealership and buy the RX-7. So first, the Evo 4. Now, again, as usual, here are your appearances. There's nothing there, but livery. Here's a look at all of the clothes you have available. We're going to go for the red. Apply and save. And then I'm going to put on those white rims because it just looks beautiful with those rims. So we'll back out. Head over to cosmetic parts. Where are those beautiful white rims? There they are. Glasses as usual. Then here you have some different options for the interior. But I think I'm going to go for this one with a carbon pack. So we'll buy that. Just like so. What else do we have? Horns. And you have the option to remove the wing. Now, it's a very iconic wing. Some people might want to, but I'm going to leave it like that. We'll back out. And there it is. You can't get a more iconic car than this itself. Let's take a look at some of the other vehicles. So next, the BMW M3 GT3. I have the appearance on, but we'll take it off for now. Like so. That's going to unlock some of the customization. And I do have some news for you on the ability to be able to use liveries and still customize your car. We'll talk about that with Guillaume. But next, you have livery, so we'll put on some new ones. Here are all of the color options available to you. That's a carbon, by the way. You can just about see it if you are. Yeah, there you go. You can see the carbon there. All the different colors here. Whatever to cosmetic parts. Not that much because it is a GT3 vehicle. One interior, etc. And no, you can't remove the wing on this car. Next, the Buggy Holiday Edition, which I do have appearance on as well, but we'll take it off. There you go. Next, we'll head over to a livery. Take a look at all the paint finishes available to you here. There it is. Next, we'll go to the cosmetic parts. One rim type that you have there. Well, actually, sorry, you have more than one. You just about saw it. Right here. There you go. All those different rims. Interior options, you have quite a few available to you as well. And horn as usual. Let's take a look at another vehicle. Of course, the R34. Now, you have the appearance here that I mentioned earlier, but I'm not going to apply it, but there it is for you in case you wanted to see. Livery, you have quite a few color options for it. Of course, you have the signature blue. You also have the yellow, red, white, pearl white here available to you, silver, black, gray, millennium jade for those of you fans, and of course, yeah, the more signature one, midnight purple. We'll apply that anyways. We'll put that on because it looks very clean. Then if we head over to cosmetic parts, as I mentioned to you, there are some customization options available to you from the Solar Pass. You have these two rims, gold or silver. Interior options are here. Horn, no spoiler, you can remove it, or you can add that big spoiler. Same thing for the front and rear diffusers, and the side skirts are there as well. Very nice. But this beauty is the last car, and we're going to take it outside in the sun so I can show you all the different colors available to it. Of course, there was that livery that you saw in the Solar Pass that you can get, but here we are. We'll turn it on. So I have it in silver, and I said I'd turn it to daylight, so 1 second, I'll snap my fingers, and we'll make this light. There we go. So light, look at that. Next, I'm going to show you all of the paint options. So let's see. So of course, we have the default color. You have black, you have pearl white, you have platinum graphite, and then you have red. And as I mentioned, you also have that livery version, which you guys can take a quick look at there. Rim options. This is what you get when you get this livery. And remember I said that thing about customizing, having appearances and still be able to choose your rims. We'll talk about that with Guillaume after. But you also have the other rims, which are there and there as well. But I'll put this back to the default color. You know, maybe we'll actually go for the black. And we might even put on those rims there. Yeah, there we go. We'll head out. And now let's go by the... the RX-7. I just want to make sure you guys really hear it because there are some beautiful, and don't forget we will have gameplay of all the vehicles arriving on the Nacon Racing channel later next week. So here we are at the dealership, and I see the RX-7 all the way there in that corner. Let's go ahead and start the buy process. So as usual, open the doors. Very nice. The detail on this car is just as good as the others. See all the detail there, the badging, the lens serial numbers. We'll buy. Here are the different colors, and you can see there's two blacks. Well, what's changing between this? The logo, the F&E logo, as you can see, is red, black, and that goes for a lot of the other colors. You can see here we have the white version, different colors, yellow with the red. Each color that we have comes with either the red or black logo, and that goes for the front and the back of the vehicle. Now for me, I'm probably gonna have to choose the whites with the red logo. I know that's pretty iconic. There you go. You have these two. We'll buy this. And again, remember this is a work in progress build, so you might not have everything ready. But there we go.
Congratulations.
I will happily take that. And there is our beautiful brand new RX-7. And the sound, good question. Let's turn that on really quick. Headlights, yes, beautiful pop-up headlights are there. Now we'll come back to this car in a second on the wheel, and we'll do a quick cruise in a taxi mission. But before I do that, I want to showcase you guys some other features that are available to you day one in season 7. Starting off with some of the more important ones, the ability to remove the spoilers. So now what I mean by that is, for example, let's drive the Lotus, which is available in the dealership, so all players have access to it. The Exige, which you have right here. Say for example, you don't want the spoiler on it. Well, you can head over to the workshop, and you're actually able to remove the spoiler. There we go. Take a look at that. And honestly, it looks quite nice. But there are a lot of vehicles that you can do this for. So the vehicles that you can do this for are the R34, the R35, the RX-7, the Evo 4, the TTRS, this car you see here, the Lotus Exige. And those are the vehicles that you can remove the spoiler on so far. Now beyond that, we also fixed hypercar physics. So let's actually go ahead and drive a hypercar. So the easiest one is the Agera RS, which you can find right here. Bam. And by the way, this is a dev menu, so you won't be able to switch cars like that. But anyways, we'll turn this on. We changed the tire grip, so they'll have a much more improved grip. Especially you'll notice this in fast-paced races. For example, there are some races where you'll use the hypercar like the Crown Jewel. You're driving one of these and they don't grip the right way. They'll be sliding all over the place at high speeds, but now they really aren't. They're behaving a lot more realistic than they were before, because our goal, don't watch that, our goal in Test Drive Unlimited Crown is to make sure the physics are more consistent, and it's something we're working on, and it's a larger approach. There are things that we're still working on, for example, like turning radius, differential, etc. And while I'm here, we'll do a quick little U-turn. Yes, speed cameras on our 3D. You know, this is another way for us to improve the realism in the world of Test Drive Unlimited Crown. And that's not just on Hong Kong Island. You have actual speed cameras in Ibiza as well. We'll continue our drive though. Next you have this improvement in Season 7, an actual pit lane inside of the racetrack on the Hippodrome in Hong Kong Island. Turn this on, pull out of the pits. This means you can now roleplay actual pit stops in the game. We'll take off. And there is the ORC, which we also have to take a look at. So all we'll do is head out of the track and we'll take a look at the front of the ORC really quickly. And right here it is, in fact, let's go by its correct name, the Solar Arena. Now this is finished in art design, but again, we need to program the whole network scene behind it. And there are some other online things that we need to improve in the game to really bring an improvement to the ORC. And unfortunately, due to the difficult times at Nacon and KT, we can't work as quickly as we'd like, and we want to prioritize houses, which is a really big feature, which you'll hear about later with Guillaume and I later on. That said, that's basically everything arriving in Season 7. Let me show you a quick live event in the RX-7 with a cruise before we finish this off.
You're here, finally. Let's get going. I need to leave quickly.
Excited to bring you guys more exclusive content like this in the future with Test Drive Unlimited Crown and the new live event system. Of course, this one is just a start. You guys have the BMW events. There's going to be more taxi missions that are specific navigation, time trial. We've now opened up the possibilities to do stuff like this. So live events aren't just going to be races anymore. And that's going to be really huge. Well, hold on, I gotta answer this. Do you know any shortcuts to avoid traffic jams? I mean, taxi driver not a magician, of course he'll be there in no time.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
awesome.
We come to the last tune of the day. I know you're wondering how time can fly so fast when you're with us, but fret not. We'll be back soon with even more of Hong Kong's biggest beats. Don't forget how awesome you are. Until next time on...
Drive slower, please.
Now let's head back to Seb, discuss a little bit more before we head off and discuss with Guillaume not only Season 7, but Season 7's mid-season updates, and of course, Season 8, otherwise known as Real Estate. So this is your first look at everything arriving in Season 7 of Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. Mazda RX-7, Nissan GTR, the R34, 370Z, Mitsubishi Lancer, the BMW, the Cox Baja, and there is going to be, with that licensed thing happening mid-season, I gotta be careful with my
really
words.
like Japanese stuff.
Yeah. Very, very welcomed. We'll have a really cool bundle with that vehicle arriving mid-season as well. But what happens after Season 7? Well, we have, of course, S7 mid-season updates, which brings some really cool stuff, which we'll head into a meeting with Guillaume to showcase. And, of course, Season 8 houses. Long-awaited houses, which I'm really, really excited for. It's been a long road to get there. But we have definitely, in my opinion, exceeded what TD2 houses were. And I think we head over to Guillaume and he'll show us everything about Season 7 mid-season and Season 8. Voici Guillaume, the game director working on Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. How are you doing, Guillaume?
Fine, and you?
I'm doing pretty good. So we have a lot lined up in this developer interview. I just recently showed the community everything coming day 1 of Season 7. So of course you have the JDM vehicles, removable spoilers, 3D race layouts are gone in live events only. They will be applied to all races at the mid-season update for Season 7. We removed FOMO. The ORC is now in the game world, which improved the track layout as well. We have overhauled the live the live events, not only live events but Solar Pass, weekly challenges, daily challenges. Now you have missions and live events as well, like time attacks, convoy domination. We've really overhauled not only really the end game content, but content depending on whatever level you are. You now have new ways to progress in Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, whether it's progressing your Solar Pass, earning solar coins, or of course even regular XP as well. That said, not only we're going to talk about Season 7, but mid-season, Season 7, there's a ton of content and quality of life updates arriving. And on top of that, Real Estate, the big news that everyone's waiting for. We've only really brushed up on it a couple times in like text format, a couple tease pictures, but we're ready to show all the progress we've made so far in houses. We want to be upfront with the community, showcase where we are, how much further we have left to go. And I'm really excited for it because it's the first time the community is going to get their hands on some really cool gameplay and showcases for what's coming for Real Estate. Really quickly, do you want to brush up on the live enhancements? Then we'll head directly into Season 7's mid-season update.
Yeah, because I think it's really important to talk about it because it's a big feature coming into the game. It changes how you progress in the game, and it changes how you progress in the game. It changes what you have to do each week. Because what we wanted is just not improve the live events, because we knew there was some problem with the live event. You know, you had just races to do and the system of points to have the reward. we wanted to change and multiply the ways to play, and that's why we added this system, this challenge system. That is, I think, pretty cool, giving you so many things to do in the game. We wanted for you to do, and yeah, it's really nice to have this.
Mid-season, season 7, there is a lot of content regarding that. 8-player groups, a massive one, and I'll have you expand on that soon. Ability to change the size of rims, another big one, and that comes with fixing the rim sizes for all cars, because there are some bugs with, for example, some cars don't have the correct rim size, but you will have the possibility to choose between different sizes of rims, and you'll be able to choose the realistic size on these different cars, whether you're in the workshop or car dealer. New third-person cameras. There is the opportunity for players to either choose this new camera or use the legacy version. But the thing is, we're still keeping that same sense of speed. You'll still notice that sense of speed. It's not going to be completely gone from this new camera. But we want to create a camera that's more matching the direction of the game, you know, more cinematic, more realistic. The field of view is better. And I'll let you take it from there, because there's a lot more you want to touch on, including, you know, what we do after this mid-season updates regarding cameras.
Yes, because the third person is the first, you know, the first thing we want to work on, because it's changing. It changes how you look at the game when you start to play, because a lot of people are playing in first person camera. I think most of them, I think it's 60% of the players, so it's kind of massive. And yeah, we wanted to have something more mature, you know, where the FOV is decreased. It would be possible to change from the legacy one to the new one at any time in the settings. And what we want to do in the future, it's having a new cockpit camera too, with you know, something that is more dynamic, like that is giving you the feeling that you are in the true car, giving you the feeling of the road. You know, like for me, the cockpit camera is you have to sense the car. You know, it has to be like you're in the real life. And we want to add two deeper personalization settings, because we know people, even if we have a vision of what we want for the game, at the end, players want to personalize everything and have some changes. So we will try to implement settings. There will be a limit, because it has not to be bugged at the end, because you can create bugs with that. But we will try to add settings to adjust your experience.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm really excited for the community to see the new third person, and I hope you guys like the animations, because every time Guillaume and I are talking about these topics, whether it's 8-player groups, size of rims, cameras, we'll see, you guys will see screenshots and gameplay up on the same screen you guys can see it on. So that's what you're gonna see throughout this whole developer interview, not just about mid-season but houses as well. We got some good content to show you. But well, the other things that are really exciting, I know this has been long awaited, and we do apologize for the wait, but the possibility to apply car parts even when you have appearances, or aka liveries, applied to the vehicle. We have a big partnership arriving in mid-season updates. We can't talk about it yet in full detail. We're gonna tease a bit though. You guys will hear about it officially in the October Solo Club letter, which likely is going to arrive around the first 2 weeks of October. I have to set a promise, because I'm the one that writes them, so I do have to write this one early. So for sure, it'll be within the first 2 weeks of October where you guys will find out about that. Optimization, of course, we know it's a really big hindsight in TDUSC at the moment, and we know times are tough at the moment at KT and Con, and we don't have that many engine programmers at KT, so it is something we know is hindering the experience for many players for Test Drive Unlimited Solo Crown, and we can't commit to the big ambitions we had for optimization as we did in the past, but throughout the coming months we'll try and update you guys as we have more information and stuff like that. Season 8, real estate, we're still developing it. It's a massive feature, and we're gonna tell the community why. So, really quickly, briefly, as I said previously, we did mention houses a couple times in text form, a couple of pictures to tease, but let's go all in. We're going to explain to you guys everything about it. One of the first things that we didn't want to just copy houses in Test Drive Unlimited 1 or Test Drive Unlimited 2. We had to do something larger. We had to do something that's more engaging to the players, because a lot of the community is right. You know, you can't just add houses, especially in the same way as it was in TDU2, and expect the players to be all in cahoots about it. We have to do something that's more engaging, and that's exactly where this whole new system comes from. There's a couple topics. I'm going to break it down for the community because there's a lot. We're going to start off. First, we're going to talk about real estate agencies and how that works. Then actual houses and the customizations behind them. Then, of course, the connectivity and the multiplayer experience within houses. And then we'll end it off with different houses and garages and talk about how many houses we are going to have at launch, how many garages we're going to have at launch, how house clones will work, because in TDU2 it was just literally a cloned house. We're not doing that in TDUSC. We're adding a lot more depth to that. So we'll discuss all of that. First, though, I've had the privilege to test all of this, and you guys are on a really good direction so far. I give you the stamp of approval. But you have to buy a house in a real estate agency, and there's one on each island, of course. That's the basics. Each real estate is a hub where you can join your friends, of course. That's the similar. But this is where we start going crazy. So of course you speak to the real estate agent. You get your meeting. You encounter the RTC, which is like a cutscene, and this is going to be huge cutscenes. You know, it's something that's lacking in Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, but we really are going to push the cutscenes to the maximum in all of the available areas that you can push cutscenes in houses. But you can either program a visit or visit the house in the world after you find it. Then you have the possibility to buy or sell your house. And you have the 3D experience to browse into different houses. And one of my favorite parts is, again, this whole game flow. And I'll let you expand on it. But, you know, you open a tablet. The guy gives you a tablet. You scroll down the contract. You sign the contract. And you have that, like, it's really start to finish the most immersive implementation of the real estate agency in a Test Drive Unlimited game. But you even mentioned that they're working on some extra stuff. Do you want to expand on it a bit about the real estate agencies?
I think you have said everything, but I can tell you about more about our vision about it. It's real estate in a test drive. It's something really important for people. I think it's not just buying a house and you're going somewhere and you buy your house. It's like in the real life. It has to be like in the real life. You have to go in a real estate agency. You have to think of what you want to buy. You have to visit the different houses. And why we push so hard about the game flow and how it has to be like in the real life, and this tablet thing, you know, like you said, this game flow on the tablet was really important for us. It makes it like it's true. Like if you're speaking to the third artist in the hub, the 8-player hub, maybe we're looking to push it to 16. We're gonna see that, but you can go there with your friend, have a meeting with the agent, and after you talk with him, and he's saying things to you. You're pretty sure you want this house, and you're browsing the different houses, and yeah, it's something we really want to push to the realism at maximum. So it's really nice, and like you said, I think it's something really cool of this PDF where you browse it, and after you sign. I think it makes the soul of it. And after on the side, we are working, it might not be in day one, but it's something we are working on so hard on this, but it's a dynamic market where we were talking about buying houses, but you can sell your house. And we were what is the sense, what is behind, why you sell your house? We have an idea. You sell your house to make benefit of it. So, and we were like, okay, if there is at some point an increasing of the price of the housing where you can sell your house and make benefit of it, like in the real life, like you can have properties to live in it, and you can have properties just to make money. And it was something we wanted to bring in the game.
That's a test drive lifestyle, man.
I don't know if at the end we will have it because it's something hard to implement, but we are working on it to implement it. It's so cool.
I saw some reminiscences of it in one of the developer builds with the red. I saw a red bar, so I saw it slightly. I hope you guys. I know it's not official, confirmed yet. You know, we're just letting the community know we're being upfront about what we're doing, where we are. So my fingers are crossed, and I'm sure once the community hears this, their fingers are crossed too, that you guys can pull through. You know, it's hard work, but we really appreciate everything you guys are doing. First though, we have a lot of different houses and garages that we're currently working on. So some of them will be unique, some of them will be clones of others, but with different layouts. And what you mean by that is actually in the background of where you are right now is one of the flagship houses in Ibiza, the Hacienda house, which is located in the southwest part of the island. There's another house that has a that's basically the same style per se. It's located on the north section. It's those two construction sites you guys might see. The difference between these two houses though is the backyard and the actual layouts of it are completely different. For example, where you are right now, it's a crazy beach, private beach with a boat, with an oven outside. Like, it's a crazy car. Sorry, crazy house.
You can go on the beach and you can walk. And it's not just looking at your beach. It's you have to go there and you can customize some parts. So yeah.
Customize? A little bit too early.
Sorry.
No worries. But even the house on the other side, it's like it's on a lake and it has a boardwalk garden, so it's very different. But what's new? I'll cover the driveway first, and then we'll get into customization, which is massive. But driveway is something that's really important to TDUSC because something that you didn't have in TD2 was when you brought your friends over, there wasn't really much to see or do with them. That's really changing a lot with Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, because now when your friends come with you, their cars show up on the driveway. Now this depends on the size of your house. So sometimes you'll only have 2 spots on your on your driveway. Sometimes you'll have 4, sometimes you'll have 8. But you can see all of your friends' cars on the driveway, and that's really cool. Again, you guys can see all this gameplay. We're showing you as much gameplay and content as we possibly can, so you know you guys aren't just imagining it. We want you guys to visualize where we are right now in development. We're being totally upfront. Of course, this is all work in progress, but the teams are working really hard, and we want to go all out and show you guys where we are right now. But really cool driver feature, I love it. But next, customization.
You can go like that and without a word about driveways. Because I think it's driveways, man, is like the thing we all wanted in a car game that people didn't introduce at some point. Like you're loving cars and you have people coming into your house, and you have a F40 and a LaFerrari and a Ford GT. And you like, you know, the dream of a car lover is that.
So customization and furniture store. So first, I'll briefly talk about it. I'll let you expand. I'm gonna go straight into it. You can freely customize your house like anywhere. What I mean by that is you open a menu, you choose your furniture, you can place it literally anywhere, whether it's in your house interior, whether it's in your bathroom, whether it's in your living room, your kitchen, your bedroom, your patio outside in the garden, whether it's on your private beach. You literally can place it anywhere. Of course, you can't place it in the water. You know, there are some limits.
You can place it on the terrain, you know, on the ground, on the terrain. But every place that is you know, flat, you can put an object on it.
Beautiful.
So massive customization.
Yeah, exactly, Guillaume. And so really that means you can customize your exterior and interior to how you imagine. There is a technical limit to this. You can't paint the exterior of your house because you know how it appears in the game world and how it appears for the players. That's another topic, which again, it's a technical limitation and it's a bit too difficult for us to implement something like that. But one of the cool things is that you can freely choose your flooring as you could, your walls as you could, your kitchen granite countertop, your kitchen cabinets. Like we like, it is genuinely a night and day difference between what you could do in TDU2 versus what you can do in TDUSC. You know, it's really pushing the limits of, you know, this is my house and no one else is gonna have a house exactly like mine unless you study it and you study it for 24 hours. And even if you do, I'll add one more piece of furniture and we're different again. So, you know, we're really pushing the boundaries of customization. But just like that, you can also change the finishes of each of the furnitures as well. So, you know, for example, a couch isn't just one couch with one material. You know, you have different materials for the couches as an example. But the other limitation before I move on is you can't customize your house when friends are there. So of course that's another one that makes sense. But truly, again, you know, it really is the pushing, you know, this is my house, everyone's room is going to be different. And that same thing applies for garages as well. Again, you can freely customize your garage as you want. So but there's a little bit of an upgrade that we did recently to that system. For example, I'll use this as an example. If you have an 8-car garage, of course you place all 8 cars where they are located. If you decide, for example, I'll put 6 cars in this 8-car garage, you can now freely position those cars in the garage, whether it's based on rotation or position. So if you max out, again, I'll repeat that again, if you max out your the garage limits, you can't freely place it. But if you don't, you can freely customize and position the cars in the garage, which is huge, Guillaume. You know, again, huge shout out to the team that's working on this housing project, because it really is massive for the team at KT to bring all of this to life. But you do have that possibility to do that in the garage. The same thing, you can put furniture in your garage as well, really customize it the way you want. But there are 2 topics I'm gonna let you take over from me. One of them is the limited garage space, because that's a huge request in the community that we have to talk about and be honest about. And we are working on ideas on what we can do to make this work, but it's still in discussions. And also wanting to take over about the smart wall panel, because that is a massive thing. It's that I want you to pick up on. So take care of that for me, and we'll continue on with the connectivity and the multiplayer experience as well.
So, like you said, it's something we wanted to push, the customization, because it's really important for us to create something special in Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. And what you said is really true. It's the place of housing in Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, because it can be like in Test Drive Unlimited 1 and 2, because you know, at this point, houses were there to increase the number of cars you can get. So if you buy an house, you will have maybe 8 places in your garage, and after you will have the ability to add to buy 8 new cars. It can't work with a game now, because you know, people have so many cars. I saw people having maybe 200 cars, so we won't have as much space as you need to have these cars, places for these cars. So yeah, it's something we have worked on. We have a solution to how to do it if we wanted to do it, but it's so much work, because we have to limit these players to increase their garage space. That is these spaces that won't be in the house. So we have to have a special place for this, where you have different garages. So we have the solution, but it's big. And for now, what we want to do is delivering the best housing experience as fast as possible. And like you mentioned, we are not like 1,000 people working on Test Drive, so we have to prioritize, and we have prioritized the customization, because we think in Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, it will be the place where role play will come into test drive. And the second one is smart wall panel. We wanted to create a place like, the TV in Test Drive Unlimited 2, where you have a hub. But in Test Drive Unlimited 2, it was more, you have the news, you have the, the weather. It was more about your experience in the game, not about the housing. In the smart wall panel will be about your house. Like you can hear change a radio station in your whole house.
Oh yeah, play radios.
Yeah, of course. In a rich house, you have to put you press a button and you have
music all over.
The swimming pool. You're around the swimming pool and you're having a party with your friends. With music. Go around the car with music. It's so cool. Choose your starting home. Because you will not start your gameplay, your session at the solar hotel. You can choose where you start your session, and the weather field, of course. But there is something else, two other things. Housing statistics. We will go deeper about that because we think it's something really cool. We want to track what you do in your house and compete between people about their house. So it will be nice. And on the side, the marketplace, because it's a thing where we wanted to go big too. Is having a marketplace where you can buy your furniture, buy your wall floor covering, and custom fittings. Like in the real life. We will talk about it, but it's the place where you can change the privacy of your house. We will talk about it just after, and where you can invite guests and this kind of thing. So yes, the smart wall panel is where you can just make your house.
Honestly, the community, when they saw your face in the trailer, they were like, there was a meme in the Discord, they're like, Guillaume smiling probably about houses. And it's true, you and the team are doing some incredible work, and I want to give a huge thanks to the whole KT team. I know times are tough at the moment, but the community and I see you guys giving it your all still, and we're happy for that. Lastly, about houses, the connectivity and multiplayer experience. Again, the whole point of Test Drive is role playing, and the ability to create your own story within Test Drive, and that's what you guys have, thought of. There was a story behind it. I think you were saying that one of the developers were saying, what if we allowed the ability for someone in free roam to just visit your house? I know you guys were thinking about it. You were like, yo, you know what? Like, what, why not? So that's the whole point of it now, actually. So when your people from your session can enter your house, if you have the setting, of course, in the smart wall panel, there's the permissions for I think it's a closed and then for your friends and then open. So people in your session, whether they know you or not, they could just visit your house. And not only that, but that elevates the experience a bit, because now, for example, I'm heading home from work and I say to my friend, yo, you want to start a cruise? Meet me at my house. They can now be ready at my house. So when I go home, I log into the game, I get into my house, my friends are already there at my house with their cars on the driveway.
In the driveway,
exactly. As if I forget.
Because the driveway now makes sense. You're waiting, you're coming into the game, you're connecting to the game, and you see your friend in the driveway with, you see my last F40 I just bought? Oh man, it's a dream. It's a dream coming true.
Lastly, before we move on to the last topic about real estate, interacting with your own car in your garages, of course, revving it, opening the doors, etc. That's key Test Drive Unlimited stuff that will be possible. But you guys are actively working on the possibility to be able to interact with other players' cars on the driveway, and other players being able to interact with your cars in your garage. It's a very difficult subject, so it's very tough at the moment for the team to work on. There's stuff about optimization.
For garage, it's 100% sure. We working on it, and the replication of the different animation and how we do it, it's something we're working on, because in the car dealer there is a problem when you enter in a car, people are not seeing you anymore. But in a garage, it makes no sense, because if you are not here, where you are
Yeah.
for the other people.
Exactly.
So we
Exactly.
want to implement this, and we want to focus on this. For the driveway, it's already something big, and it changes something, like you said, in the optimization, and it's complicated because there is other subject colliding with it. So how you will open your door, but yes, there is not enough space, this kind of thing, you know.
RTCs and cutscenes, we think very highly of that. You know, as we mentioned, you know, there's cutscenes missing when you enter dealerships, the slow hotels, you know, stuff like that. But we can confirm that for houses, we really are going all in, whether it's the real estate agency, whether it's saying your furniture get delivered to your house, move my mic, but whether it's furniture getting delivered to your house, signing the contract, visiting a house, entering your house, exiting your house. We're going to make sure that there's cutscenes for all of that, because that's something that we know the community is heavily missing from the past test drive games. The past test drive games did it very well. So that's something we're going to actively push for the real estate update. Before you say a few words to the team at KT, Guillaume, I just want to mention one last thing, and it's about the different houses and garages that will have day one of the real estate updates. We need to be super honest with the community. We need to be open to the community. And this is also why we have this showcase. We want to show you guys as much as we can where we are in the development of the game, where we are on other subjects. And as we said many times before in this interview, at the moment times are a bit difficult, you know, with the recent situations at both KT and Nacon. We no longer have the same task force as we did before, and of course that comes with some unfortunate realities. And one of those large realities is, of course, the development time for projects. You know, you've already seen it for the ORC, for example. We've had to push it outside of season 7 mid-season updates. Of course, we still added some content to season 7 to help mitigate that, but it's now pushed outside. It's supposed to be arriving after season 8. But you also have other topics like, of course, optimization, which we mentioned earlier. You know, there's topics such as crossplay and cross-region, which, you know, are massive community asks. And, you know, the things that we do want to see in test drive, but we can't commit to a date at the moment. You know, it's difficult. We can't predict. We don't have the same team size. And that same thing gets applied for real estate. You know, of course, we don't want to launch with an unreasonable amount of houses for the community day one. But, you know, how we see houses and real estate isn't just, you know, one release and done. We want to arrive day one with a reasonable amount of houses for the community to have, and then progressively continue to add more houses as time goes on for both Ibiza and Hong Kong. And that's something that we're actively looking into. We're doing the numbers right now. Of course, you guys are still working on the systems, so, you know, being able to predict on things like outsourcing, you know, systems integration, etc. It's a bit tough right now because we haven't fully integrated all the systems and flawlessly bug fixed them to know exactly when. But these are things that we're actively working on. We're actively in discussions, and it's something that, you know, when we have more information, of course, probably early 27, we'll be able to give you guys some more details on that actual update itself. Now maybe in the future, you know, there's the whole thing about play tests. You know, maybe we can even involve the community a bit on the subject, helping us test houses in the future, so that we can get some feedback from the community on those systems as well. But again, you know, just reiterate, it's very unfortunate, and we do apologize for the speed of the developments for TDUSC recently over the couple of seasons. We know the community isn't a fan of it, but, you know, we are trying our hardest to bring the community the best out of Test Drive Solo Crown as we can. We've already done that so far. You know, it's something we're actively improving, and even from the con side, we're confirming, you know, we do see a future in the Test Drive Limited franchise and in Test Drive Limited Solo Crown, and we will continue working on it for the foreseeable future. And even on the topic of offline, which we've mentioned earlier, you know, it is something that we've already had discussions with. We've already had a console development plan for it, and it's something we are looking to bring at the end of the game's life. But that isn't tomorrow, that's not next month, that's not for a very long time. You know, we're still planning a large amount of updates over the coming months to arrive into TDUSC, and we just want to be upfront with you guys about the current situations regarding that. That said, though, of course, real estate in general, though, we hope you guys enjoyed this massive reveal. You guys see how much, you know, the devs are really pushing the Test Drive Limited DNA, and if you see them, whether it's on Discord, social media, give your thanks to them because they're working super hard to bring you guys the best out of TDUSC as they can, you know. And I'll let you have some last words before we end this off, Guillaume.
Yeah, I'm really proud of what we show here because I think we show here because I think it's really big, and I hope so much it matches the expectation of the players because we really are working really hard on this, and like you said, we are working as much as we can, and we are a little team, so it's really hard for us. We have to adapt to the new constraints we have. I want to thank every people that have worked on the Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown because they all have done big work on it with passion, with good ideas, and we're still having good ideas, but you know, we can progress at the speed we can develop at the speed we did before. I think we are truly committed to the future of Test Drive Solar Crown, and we want to commit on this and having this TDU DNA marked forever in the video game industry. So we will work forever on it. And I will talk in French. Merci vraiment à toutes les personnes qui sont passées par KT parce que c'est un travail exceptionnel. Voilà, je tiens à le dire et c'est plus facile en français pour moi. Voilà, merci à tous et merci aux joueurs.
Bien parlé, Guillaume. Merci à tout le monde pour les devs à travers dans KT aujourd'hui aussi. C'est possible pour moi. Merci les devs KT aussi en français. And again, a huge thank you to the community who've been supporting us throughout the past couple of months, and in fact 2 years almost, really. We're about to hit the second year for Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, just a couple weeks after the launch of Season 7. So a huge thank you to all of you guys. We hope you enjoyed everything that's coming, not only in Season 7, but the mid-season update for Season 7. Again, massive stuff. Of course, 8-player groups, really can't wait for that. It's going to open up the racing possibilities now, even with the lack of the ORC. Rim sizes, of course, the customization options, and then even the big collaboration, which, again, really can't wait for that. You know, we're here to stay. The development of Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown is still going on, and we hope that this presentation, especially of houses, really shows you guys that we're not going to go the easy road out. We really want to bring the community the best we can out of all the features arriving to TDUSC. Again, Guillaume, thank you so much for dropping by. Saying thank you to all the devs at KT for me as you head back into your office. Probably working on some tough stuff for houses. And I'll see you again very soon in the future, man. Thanks for everything.
Bye.
All right, I'll see you. Bye. So there's your first look at houses in...
And what a look. I think people would not expect that kind of teaser. Can we still call it a teaser?
At that point, sure. No. Honestly, even I myself am a bit surprised. Guillaume said to me the other day, you know what, I think we should get to showcase houses. And I thought, I wasn't going to ignore it.
We've been asking that to Guillaume, I think, for months, and now it's him coming and say, hey, we have a lot to say.
Exactly. So really
Thank
cool.
you, Guillaume.
Merci, Guillaume. Honestly, I'm sure the community will be really happy to see what we have shown the case to you guys. But this is also just a reminder, Seb, you know, Season 8 isn't the end of Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. We see some people asking some questions about that. I want to remind you guys, you know, we're not finishing the after Season 8. We still have, of course, we mentioned offline, which is planned for the end of life. But before that, we still have things that we want to release. When we release Season 8, before whatever happens after, we will for sure have a communication, probably another showcase as well. Maybe in News from the Pits, probably early 27, something around there, spring 27, we'll be able to discuss what's happening.
It's also really good to see where we are now with Test Drive, because if you compare from what the game was when it released 2 years ago, to now with houses coming also in the near future, like the diversity of content of missions, like the taxi missions, delivery missions and stuff like that that you have in the game, which was not at the launch. So it's a very different game from what we started, from where we started. There've been like a lot of changes also for the UI, for the live event system, for the map, for the augmented reality elements here and there that the community didn't like. We remove everything The game has changed a lot since the release, and it's continue to change. So that's why we are like making all these updates. The casino also was not there at the launch. So yeah, the game is very different and has still a bright future in front of it.
And it brings you happiness that you know, out of all the times that you know, unfortunately you see games shut down early, it brings me great joy as a Test Drive Limited franchise fan that we're still updating the game and we still see an existence and future in that franchise as well.
I just wish you joined us even before the release of Test Drive.
Don't worry.
It was a few months after, but it was, yeah.
You have me here for the future of TDUSC and whatever happens after.
Future of Test Drive, you mean?
Indeed, indeed. And that's all we have to show. Unfortunately, I wish there was more for WC, but I know next year we're not that far away. We're already in end of August. Not that much further to go until January 27, and
We have great things
another year, indeed. Huge thank you to everyone who was here for News from the Pits, the 3rd episode, and we hope you guys did enjoy all of these showcases that we had today. Anything else you want to end off with, Seb, before we let all the Nacon Racing fans go?
No, I'm really happy that all these games are like following the right development direction, let's say. So really exciting stuff. We've seen MXGP, which is really exciting and coming in few weeks because it's almost a month now to the release. So very good things happening on the racing side at Nacon.
Yeah. So again, that's everything we have to show for episode 3 of Nacon Racing's News from the Pits. Don't forget to check our socials and our Discords for all of the news and information for everything we revealed today. Everything again will be in the description below for you guys to go ahead and check out. And again, recap: MXGP releasing October 2nd. This year. October 1st. Gear Cup Unlimited 3 also releasing in October.
8.
Perfect. Thank you, sir. It's gonna be hard. I don't know how you do all these dates. We have a lot coming out. September 2nd for Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. WC end of 27, and Revolution products all should be releasing before the end of this year as well. Yes. So the RS Pure console versions, which is our 10 Nm, the RS Lite, the RS Initial, which is the 6 Nm, and the RS Lite was 3.2 Nm, yes. RS Initial 6 Nm, and of course all the accessories that we have as well. So a really stacked year.
And don't forget Endurance Motorsport
Series. I almost forgot. Exactly. Spring 2027 for Endurance Motorsport Series, and don't forget to sign up for the playtest in the link in the description below. Thank you, Seb, and I'll see you again for the 4th episode of News from the Pits later.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Alex.
No worries.